Like many of us here in the US, I've spent the last year or so mostly working from home. Well, actually in my case, in my garage here just outside Washington, D.C. But with vaccines on the horizon, we could go back to normal in a matter of months. But will normal actually feel normal? Let's find out. By last fall, about 95% of office employees in the D.C. region were working from home. Employers expect 30% of their employees to be physically at work sites by the end of March. That should increase to about 75% by the fall. CGTN's offices are right in the middle of downtown Washington. I've been to the office briefly a couple times, but that's about it. Time to walk around these familiar streets that are now mostly empty. The Greater Washington Partnership is an alliance of businesses in the region. They put together a study looking at how the city may change when people come back to work. Francesca Iafreda is Vice President of Inclusive Growth at the Greater Washington Partnership. What will the city look like when this starts to fade and people come back to work?
So I think you'll start to see hybrid working models where people are working in the office maybe a couple days a week.
The DC region is second only to San Francisco in number of remote capable jobs.
Those remote capable jobs are disproportionately held by high skilled workers, and they tend to be disproportionately white. We see groups of individuals being hit particularly hard by a sustained shift to remote work. Those are frontline workers, small businesses, and the Black and Latinx workforce in particular.
Many of the restaurants that cater to office workers have been hit hard. But I find one of my favorite places still open, Jaffa, a falafel spot. Nader Hashem is the owner. How's it going? I'm going to get a falafel sandwich.
Yes, sir.
How's business been?
Really bad. Really disappointed. Bad.
Yeah, how much you down?
We are almost 90% from 300 to 400 customers a day to 20 to 25 customers.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, What can you do? Just keep it going and see what happens next. I think, future-wise, you're going to cut down, less space, work from home instead of the city.
What's that going to mean to you?
That's going to hurt us. We're going to get hurt really bad.
Employers are worried about losing their organizational culture. They're worried about employee mental health and reduced productivity from working remotely. So I'm texting CGTN anchor Mike Walter to see if he can come say hi. Some of the impact is hard to measure.
Yeah.
There he is, Mike Walter.
It's been a while.
How are you? I know. But people working from home and the few coming into the office are all feeling it. So you're one of the few people that's been coming to downtown just about this whole last year. What's the city been like?
Well, it's been like what you see. I mean, it's just a ghost town. But to take it one step further, I mean, the camaraderie that you have in a newsroom, where I just come over and just shoot the breeze with you, it just doesn't exist anymore. Everybody's so sad.
But Mike expects the city to evolve and find new ways to thrive. There's a lot of opportunity here for reinvention, for rebirth of the city, of these individual businesses, and kind of how we approach our lives.
Yeah, and I think a lot of things that we took for granted now we think a lot about. The closeness of family and loved ones. Just even have a conversation like this. I mean, you just don't have them anymore.
Soon, one way or another, many of us will be back to work, facing and creating a new normal. Jim Spellman, CGTN, Washington.